Welcome to Learning with UNP. In this session of Business Intelligence with Power BI, we will learn about basic DAX functions in Power BI. We will also cover important DAX functions that are commonly used for data analysis. They are sum, average, min, max, and distinct count. So far, we have set up our Maven Market data in Power BI and completed the data modeling process. I have already explained what DAX is, that is, Data Analysis Expressions, which is a formula language in Power BI used for creating calculations and analyzing data. We will demonstrate each of these DAX functions using the Maven Market dataset. For the first four functions, we will work with the quantity column in Maven Market transaction table. And for the distinct count, we will use the customer ID column in the Maven Market customers table. Let's begin with the sum function. The sum function is used to calculate the total of a numeric column by adding up all the values in it. It is one of the most commonly used functions when we want to find totals. Now let's calculate the total quantity sold using the sum function. Here is how we do it. Choose transaction table, go to the home ribbon. In the table tools tab, click on new measure. A formula bar will appear at the top of the screen. Let's name this measure as total quantity sold. Now let's type the formula like this. Sum, bracket open. Let's type quantity so that Power BI will automatically show us the columns with that name. And we will choose quantity column from transaction data. Close the bracket. Press enter to save the measure. What this formula does is it adds up all the values in the quantity column from the Maven Market transaction table. Now let's visualize this. Go to the visualization pane, get a card visualization onto the canvas and drag the total quantity sold onto the card. Now you will see the total quantity sold displayed on the screen. This way we can use sum function. Next is average function. The average function is used to find the mean or average of a numeric column. It adds up all the values and divides by the number of rows in that column. Let's calculate the average quantity sold using the average function. To do that, select Transactions table. Again in the Home ribbon, under the Table Tools tab, select New Measure. Let's name this measure Average Quantity Sold. Now let's type average, bracket open. Again, let's type quantity so that the relevant column's name will be visible here. Let's choose quantity from transactions table, hit tab, close the bracket, hit enter to save the measure. What this formula does is, it calculates the mean of all the values in the quantity column. Click on number card so that it will be visible on the canvas. Drag this average quantity sold measure onto the number card. Here, the card is displaying the average quantity sold across all transactions. The third function is min. The min function is used to find the smallest value in a numeric column. It is useful for identifying the minimum value in a dataset. Now let's find the minimum quantity sold in a single transaction. Again, let's follow the same process. Choose transaction data, click new measure. Let's name this measure as minimum quantity sold. Type min, open bracket, type quantity, hit tab, close the bracket, hit enter to save the measure. What this formula does is, this will return the smallest value in the quantity column. To display it, let's get another number card onto the canvas, drag minimum quantity sold measure onto it, and here is the smallest quantity sold in any transaction, that is 1. The next function is max. Max function is the opposite of min. It is used to find the largest value in a numeric column, helping us identify the maximum in a dataset. Let's now calculate the maximum quantity sold in a single transaction. Choose transaction table, click on new measure. Let's name this measure as maximum quantity sold. Type max, type quantity, choose the relevant column, hit tab, close the bracket, hit enter. Again, let's create a card visualization by clicking on number card from visualization pane and drag the maximum quantity sold measure onto the canvas. Over here, we are able to see the highest quantity sold in any transaction, that is 6. Finally, let's look at the distinct count function. Distinct count function is used to count the number of unique values in a column. It's especially useful when you want to find the distinct entities like unique customers, products, or regions. For this demonstration, we'll count the number of unique customers using the customer ID column in the transactions data. Since customer transaction related information is stored in transactions data, we will create this measure in transactions data. To do so, click on transactions data, go to home ribbon, click on new measure. Name this measure unique customers. Enter the formula starting with distinct. Over here we can see the distinct count DAX function. Hit tab, search for transaction data. Over here we have customer ID from transaction data. Hit tab, close the bracket, hit enter. This formula counts the distinct customer IDs, giving us the total number of unique customers. To visualize this, let's get another number card onto the canvas. Drag this measure onto the number card. Now we are able to see the total number of unique customers displayed, that is 8,842. Finally, we have successfully executed 5 essential DAX functions in Power BI Desktop. Let's quickly recap. Sum adds up all values in a column. Average calculates the mean of a column. Min finds the smallest value in a column. Max finds the largest value in a column. Distinct count, it counts unique values in a column. Using these functions, we can perform powerful calculations and gain deeper insights into our data. Click Ctrl S to save the changes. This is all about today's lecture. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.